Hello, my name is Swara. Denver Meditation Center is an online interfaith temple cultivating love and exploring spiritual practices. We offer ourselves in humility and strength to all that is sacred in these precious moments. Quiet, personal, meaningful, and transformative. Please guide us as we go within to increase our awareness. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Denver Flood and Fire. Please be sure to go to the comments for links to other events that Denver Meditation Center endorses. Anything from ecstatic dance, online or in-person experiences, to devotional singing, retreats, seminars, workshops, and I'll always be sure to let you know when I'm hosting a retreat or an event. And if I'm participating in an event, I'll also invite you to those as well.
Oh, I ain't gonna live like this no more. Most of my life's been waging war till I found peace. I could've swore what she did shook me to the core, and I ain't gonna live like that no more. Like this no more, hurting as bad as the years before, living in a lie I can't ignore. Or I had to cut ties to settle the score, and I ain't gonna live like this no more. I'ma get on my feet, get on my chores, get some things from the getting store. This old ship's coming back to shore, 'cause I ain't gonna live like this no more.
Hello, yogis. I just wanted to send you a video update about Sacred Dance Sundays. It's been quite a journey since New Year's Eve, and we've produced now 16 Sacred Dance Sundays. I started out my very first one, I'm wearing alien pajamas on Zoom. Every week evolved and refined the technology and the structure. I didn't know where I was going when I started this whole thing, and now we've really come to an incredible sweet spot where the production is streamlined, looking professional, the content is getting juicy. I just want to thank everyone who has participated in any of these Sacred Dance Sundays. You have been part of this journey, your energy, your donations, your undying love and permission for me to find my way with refining what this offering is meant to be. You know, in 2009, Kalindi asked me to start Sunday services and to not let anything stop me. Since that time, I've been holding this torch inside of myself. This was the year to pop it out. I'll always be refining and changing and upgrading. But for now, I'm going to take the next few weeks off until May just to rest, reflect, and refine where we're going to go next with this offering. I now have over 350 one-hour meditations. We've had some landmarks in this period of time. When I first started, I was averaging 4 to 8 views on the meditations. All of a sudden 300, and then 700, and then 1,000 views. And just as my mind was being blown, then we crossed over 2,000 views on a single meditation, which just happened a couple weeks ago. I feel like there's some kind of divine perfection in me answering the calling to Kalindi to ask me to start these Sunday services, which this is obviously not at all a traditional Sunday service. But just as I really get into the pocket and saying yes to this divine calling, people are starting to now pay attention, which is an indication to me that I am on track. We are on track. Where this is going, who knows, but it feels really big and it feels really relevant to what's going on in the world at this time. One of the big lessons that I've learned is that meditation, while it has many well-being, psychological and mental and physical side effects, spiritual transformation cannot be fit into a wellness box. It is what we're doing here, what we're exploring here is spiritual transformation, evolution of the soul, spiritual freedom, enlightenment, spiritual awakenings, reaching a state of full self-awareness. When I was 17 years old, I had just graduated high school and I was about to become an adult. I spoke to someone who is a holy man, and he said, "What is it that you want to do with your life?" I proclaimed to him and publicly in front of other witnesses, I want to know what our business with God is and what is success. What is the achievement that God has for us that we can achieve on the highest level? Since then, every major decision that I've ever made has been in alignment with that sole purpose. At the end of this year, I'm going to turn 60. It's been a lifelong journey to get to this place where I finally feel like I'm coming into my true soul calling. You know, for many years, I thought it was being a musician. And now I'm seeing that, yes, music is a component, but it's more about being an energetic channel for spiritual awakening. I'm not a spiritual master. I'm not even a spiritual teacher. I am just, I've learned through the proper association, through taking on a spiritual master disciple relationship and following the guidance, led to this place where it's not about me or my talents or my abilities or even my passion. It's about my ability to let go of material constructs and melt into a spiritual oneness, which is our true realm of existence. The more I tap into that, the more I'm feeling that sense of soul fulfillment. And I have more to go on my journey, and this is part of it. So I just want to thank you for witnessing. You know, there is like a pull, it's like a spiritual vacuum. Like once you tap into spiritual awakening energy, it becomes like a pull, and it becomes more and more rapid, and things that we're holding on to, resentments, unworthiness, blame, start to fall off. There becomes intolerance for habits and behaviors that get in the way of this massive flow of energy that's coming into the planet at this time. And anyone who is tapped into spirituality at all in this day and age is aware that there is a spiritual awakening, massive spiritual awakening happening at this time, and has probably experienced different forms of awakening experiences. What I speak to and what I represent is very much at the helm of this spiritual movement. In 2010, Kalindi Lagarasana left the body. Kalindi Lagarasana, voice of God. And that's such a huge, bold statement. And my personal journey has been about coming to terms with that bold statement, you know? Because while one part of myself is having unquestionable experiences of overwhelming love of God and abilities to see and have understandings into the construct of material matrix and illusory tricks, how myself get bound to material identity, ego identity. And when Kalindi left the body, you know, she would talk for so many years that, you know, at some point she was going to go into seclusion, and she was always like looking for people around her, you know, who's going to be with her during her time of seclusion. And this seclusion would last 10 years, and then she would come out to the world. Now, you hear this, and it's, you know, it hits upon levels of density, of ability to really take it in. But, you know, because of my love relationship, my love connection with her, I never doubted that that was true. But there was always some part of me that had this, you know, chatter in here. Is this a cult? Is she a narcissist? Is this like, what's going on? My process has been like really addressing what that voice of doubt is coming from. And it's really part of that material egoic construct that wants to keep things normal, wants to keep things easy to digest so that my ego doesn't get too confronted. And so my process has been really pushing up against that internal resistance. And I'm talking about shades and shards of resistance. What is that? That stutters when I say the word Garasana. What is it in me? And so pushing against that is this Sacred Dance Sunday offering has been very much a part of that in my transformation. And every time I would step up to bat and say straight truth from my experience, there would be kind of like I like when Brene Brown talks about like a vulnerability hangover. Like I would like feel the repercussions of it, but then there'd be the next Sunday service to produce. So I wouldn't have that much time to mindfuck over it or try to figure it out or process it. But I would feel that. I would be like, oh, what have I done? And what's going on? But I'd also get like stronger. And I also, my ability to see and feel the gap between where people are as I interact with them. We have words of exchange, we have energy exchange. Next thing you know, I was starting these Godcast podcasts and people are sharing, and all of a sudden, I'm like seeing this whole matrix of information. And this was an unexpected experience. It became pretty overwhelming. But what I'm coming to realize is the more I go into straight truth inside and the more I stand publicly in that truth, the more my awareness increases and the more my ability to intuitively feel, I don't know how else to explain it, but to feel God's longing and God's pain for each and every one of us. When, so much of humanity, even in the wellness community, God is absent in so much of the wellness community, which was a big eye-opener for me. People are meditating and leaving God out of the equation. I was like, oh, wow. I didn't know that was going on. But the thing is that God is so very, very much close. It's actually the only true God. That's a trigger word. I get it. I don't like that, and I think that's part of like my resistance. What I stand for is directly a confront to material constructs, which makes me by nature kind of unpopular. So the part of my ego that wants to be cool is dying off, because the overwhelming love of God is way more powerful, way more attractive, way more fulfilling. This month, the rest of the month, I'm going to be taking off. I will be honoring Kalindi's life, honoring and relishing my own transformation, trusting the guidance that I've received from her, because her promises are coming true. And yeah, it's possible for God to come into a body and not assume a narcissistic position to take advantage of people. And a lot of people have been hurt. So much trust. But it's possible. I have the hope, I have the experience, and I hope to pass on that link for those who are ready, for those who are tired of the best of what this world has to offer, as good as it gets. There's something more, and there's that spark. I'm here to ignite. When I first met Kalindi, she was speaking in front of people and she was wearing a Cupid medallion, and someone asked her about it and she said, well, I've worn a cross before, but it's not the religion, So she said, I want to wear a Cupid because that's what I want to do. I want to pierce into the hearts of people. And I feel like I channel that energy from Kalindi. And it's my desire to pierce into the hearts of people through the mediums of film, music, art, striving to find the words. It's energy exchange. Enlightenment is possible in this lifetime, and many people are on that trajectory. If you're someone who has done a lot of different walks of spirituality and experimented and you've been disappointed over and over again, try and go within and trust one more time. I'm here to point you to Kalindi, point you to Garasana, and point you to this incredible organization, Center of the Golden One, that somehow or other, this group of ordinary people collectively carry a spiritual energy and intelligence to not fall for the tricks of the illusion, not fall for the control, the manipulation, the sexual inappropriations, the abuse of substance for hedonistic lifestyles, the abuse of taking advantage for the benefit of a very few people. That's not what's going on here. It's very open, very light, very airy, very real, very potent container. And I wouldn't recommend it if I hadn't been through it. Watch it go through a purification process. There's a refinement at this point. 30 years in, it's been refined, and there's been a huge cleaning out of any of that cult dynamic. Somehow or another, here there's enough intelligence and enough benevolence, enough purity that people are finding states of full self-awareness. And there is a living spiritual master by the name of the lady that's kind of at the helm of this whole organization. And she herself, in her own process, went from a spiritual devotee to moving completely out of the way. So this spiritual energy, she is nothing but this benevolent spiritual energy. And there's a group of people that she works with very closely who are here to be her successors, who hold that purity, hold that light, hold that intelligence for all of humanity, humankind, mankind, womankind, all of his kind, all of his spirits in the material realm. With that, I will leave you. I am going to relish these weeks of connection, and when I come back in May, probably around mid-May, I can't wait to see what happens. We're on a moment-to-moment realization path here, so I will be back, and I am already feeling the fire that will be spreading calmly, like water and fire somehow marrying, and the passion with calmness unite into this magical, mystical vapor for all of us to breathe in and come together as one. in the truth of who we are. I love you, and I'll see you soon.